Okay, what's up, Transformers fans? Tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. Tonight I'm taking a look at the Iron Factory Drill of Amdusius, and that is how you pronounce that, Amdusius. It's based on a fallen angel, but I mean, you're not here for a wiki review, you're here for a Transformers review. So, there you go. Very interesting box art, very clear, very crisp. Drill of Amdusius. So very cool box art. I don't normally go over box art and instructions, but these are actually done really well. The instructions are done fairly well. They are pretty clear. It's just on this big fold-out poster booklet, but they're actually pretty good. So the instructions are pretty clear. I like those a lot. Getting on to the figure himself, here is Iron Factory's Drillhorn. This is a Transformers Victory character. I really like Transformers Victory. So I saw they were doing this and I was like, man, I gotta check that out. So here is Drillhorn. He does come with his little breast force partner here. You can fold him up into the square and plug him onto the chest, and he hangs on just fine. That is not coming off of there, so that's great. We'll go over the transformation of the breast force character here in a little bit. If you're having a problem standing him up, then just like tilt. He's got these little heels back here. So if you're having problems with him standing, just kind of tilt those a little bit, and it should help with posability. I was having a problem with him standing a second ago, tilted those heels back, and now he's good to go. He is ready, man. All right. So let's bring out some other Iron Factory offerings. This is Rush Beats. I did a review on him a while back. So a little bit taller than Rush Beats. Pretty good bit taller than he is. Let's bring out a current core class figure. Again, taller than he is. But this is supposed to be a Legends class, but he's a little bit taller than core class. Let's bring out, this is a custom of mine. I'm doing a custom rescue. So he's about, I'd say about the size of your Netflix Bumblebee, maybe a little taller, but about the size of your next Netflix Bumblebee Cliff Jumper, that mold. So about that size, pretty decent figure. Comes with a ton of accessories. The first of which, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. So let's pop off his little partner here. Very snug. And you did see in the review that it can become a gun. You just flip out the tail and it becomes a gun. Now he does have a more sleek, stylized kind of gun. You can use this, and he does have a flat chest put on there. It's a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, you know, but I like this. I don't mind that. So that's the one that I normally use, is the actual transformable one. And he holds the gun just fine. I'll show that off for you real quick. A bit of a tight grip getting him in there. But once it's in there, he holds it just fine. So that's pretty cool. And there we go. So we're going to set him up here for a minute. We're going to take this little guy. Very simple transformation. You just fold this handle down, and you can bring the rhino head up. And then we got to fold the legs here. Well, kind of tiny, so I can't really get a good grip on them. But they just circle around like so, and like so. He's tiny, man. That's why my fingers are taking up half the screen trying to get this. He's tiny. You just fold the handle back up into his chest, and there you go. Little bitty rhino dude. Pretty cool. Excuse me. Got the tail out like that. It's pretty neat. And these are on ball joints. As you can see, did not mean to do that. They're on ball joints. Don't pop off all that easily, so it is a tight grip. So, you know, that was just me manhandling it. It is a pretty tight grip. All right, so we are going to have to put this guy down to put him in leg mode. Now, there's a lot of people that may have a little problem with this, but I want to show off something that may change your mind about it. So we'll get to that at the end of the review. So we've got another accessory. This is the spear. You just pop this off, shove it in his hand, and pop that back on. So speaking of hands, we have an assortment of hands And yes, you've seen the previews. He does have the middle finger. Apparently all of them are going to have that. My wife loves it. She thinks it's hilarious. And you've also got these little guys that will plug into this, and then that will plug onto the wrist. And you can have like these, it comes with two of them, so you can have like these drill hands. So that was actually one panel in IDW Comics where they did that, the first run. So that was pretty funny. But a lot of accessories, a lot of different hand stuff, typical Iron Factory from what I understand. So we're going to put those accessories over there. He comes with this last accessory. This is going to be part of the full combiner, because as you know, this guy's part of the 6-member combiner, so he's going to have this weapon thing for the Liokaiser. Alright, so let's set the sphere off the side, let's set that off to the side, and let's get into the figure himself. Head is on a ball joint. Yes, mine still has that issue. I cannot get this guy back into robot mode without popping that head off. That is a little bit of an issue. I mean, for what I got, for what I want, like I can overlook it, but it is a concern. I have to point it out. We'd say the same thing on a Hasbro release, so we can't give leeway to a third party just cause, right? That is a bit of an issue. Yeah. Okay, so arms are on ball joints. They can go up like this, and they can go up like that. This part is actually kind of part of the transformation. This is a ball joint. We got an upper thigh swivel. The hands are on ball joints. I'm not going to pop it off because it's a little bit of a pain to get the hand back on there, but they're on ball joints. You pop them off and put on the different hands. So what else? We've got the waist swivel, this big, or ab crunch and a waist swivel. But this ab crunch is going to come in handy for our transformation, but a very good ab crunch. Like I said, waist swivel. We've got a ball joint at the hip as well as an upper thigh swivel. We've got a 90 at the knee. We've got this little blue toe that is on a pegged in ball joint, and it gets you a lot of motion. It gets you the toe tilt down. It gets you the ankle rocker. So really great with articulation with this guy. Very happy with that. So, all right. And these, right, since we're in robot mode, I just want to point this out. These just kind of fold back here. They don't really peg into anything, which is fine, but they can get a little in your way sometimes. All right, so I think we're ready for transformation. I think. So we're going to fold in the hands, and I want to go ahead and point this out. It's not really an issue, but it's kind of a thing. Like, they're a little bit stubborn to come back out of there, but if you just keep scratching at it, it'll come out. And I don't think that's going to scratch off any of your paint. So that's the actual plastic right there. I think the blue might be painted on, but you're just scratching at the knuckles, so it might get you a little bit of wear and tear eventually, but just something to be aware of. These hands, the hands that hold stuff, that's the one that I keep on the stock, they're a little bit hard to get back out of there once you peg them in. But anyways, let's fold in those hands. Okay, then this back section is going to open up like this. Then we're going to go ahead and tilt him forward, get that open all the way. He does have this little thing that comes down like so, and I think that's supposed to help you get the head in there, but the little rhino ear is kind of getting your way. So you got to kind of work him in there, and I can get him in there without popping off the ball joint, but I cannot get him out of there without popping that head off the ball joint. But there we go. So we're going to close all that back up. We're going to take the arms and fold them up this way, like so. Then we're going to come around here and we're going to fold this panel down, like that. That panel. Same thing on the other side. We got another panel right here. If I can get my fingernail in there. There it goes. Like that. Okay. So then this is going to come here. We're going to accordion the tank treads around this way, and that tab is going to tab into a slot on the chest. Okay. It's fairly easy to see. It's fairly easy to find. Just slide it in that way. And same thing on the other side. Slide it in that way. And when you're getting him off a transformation, you don't want to curl around. You want to kind of push up, and that. Don't pull out. Don't curve it around. Push up. and it just comes out of there a little easier. All right, so I'm going to take the drill and peg it in like so. Then you're going to come up to this little cockpit, and that's just going to come up and peg in like that. So there's half of him. All right, then we're going to turn him around to the back. We're going to take out these little tank treads, and they do like to pop off that ball joint that they're on. These are on ball joints. They do like to pop out. So we're going to unfold this, bring this little heel down like so, and we're going to bring them around this way because we're not going to fold them in just yet. We're not going to peg them into the leg just yet. We want to open up that too. And while we're here, you want to tilt the toes down. And I know somebody's screaming at me, I forgot the kneecaps. The kneecaps actually spin around. It's actually kind of cool. You take the kneecaps and you spin them around 180 like so. And that's actually pretty neat. I like that. So, all right. So let's take the toes, get it down like this. Okay, and then let's set up the tank treads on the other side. Let's get that leg out of the way. And they snug in, they peg in very snugly. So that's why I'm kind of struggling with it here. Come on, buddy. There you go. Like that. And then that will fold around like so. And then we want to open up that tab on the back of the leg. And then normally it's where you fold the legs up and then tab it in, but I actually find it easier if you tab the legs together. There's a little tab right about here. If you tab the legs together there. And also you want to make sure that the hips are nice and properly aligned, or he's not going to work right. He's not going to peg in as well as he could. And I probably don't have the hips lined up correctly, but that's okay. All right, so this is where we take advantage of that waist or that ab crunch. Bend him around like this, and then bend the legs around like this. And then we're going to kind of sandwich all that down. Then we're going to, okay, so I want to point out on this, these little tabs are going to come down like that. If they're supposed to sit flush, I can't do it. That's how they look on mine. So if they're supposed to be flush or whatever, I cannot get them to do it for the life of me. So then we're going to take tank treads, and here's where I have a problem with them popping off the ball joint. There's a little tab right here that this will slot into, and sometimes it's a little hard to do it without popping it off that ball joint, because that ball joint's really sensitive and really snug. But you can do it like so. Okay. All right, now let's get everything all properly aligned. Those little pads kind of do that. If they're supposed to sit flush, I can't do it. So, okay, before we close them all up here, these little tab right here, there's two tabs right there. They're going to peg into a slot right about there. Let's see if I can get a better lighting on that. That's really dark. I'll get some better lighting on that. Okay, so you see that little slot there, there's a tab there, that little slot. So that's where you want all this to kind of groove into. Like so. And it's not really that hard, and the feet go behind the cockpit. It's not really all that hard, but it can be a little troublesome now and then. And there he is in his drill tank mode. Pretty cool. I like it. It looks like what was in the show, but a little bit more stylized, but not too far out. So it's kind of cool. I'm digging it. And we also do have a rotating tank drill. That's neat. I love that. That's cool. Doesn't roll at all, but I think we can give that a pass for everything else that it is. So pretty cool. It doesn't look like the guns attach anywhere. Oh, and speaking of which, this guy can attach to him in vehicle mode. There's also, you know, if you want to do that, that can do that. But because it doesn't roll, it's not going to affect anything. So, oh, and I just popped that off the ball joint. Yeah, that snap scared me. But that actually brings up something that I need to mention. We are going to need to tilt this back for putting him into leg mode, but don't do it before you move the cockpit, or this will happen. So it's a good thing they put that on a ball joint. Okay, so move the cockpit back like so, and then bring the drill forward, or you're going to pop it off the ball joint. Don't do what I did. So it's fine, it pops on there just fine, it's okay. But don't do that. Alright, so to get him in leg mode, bring the drill around like this, and I like to sit it right there. And of course, we'll do that right there. Okay, so you're going to want to bring this side, and you're going to want to pull that tank turret. Like I said, pull it straight, not curl it around. Pull the tank turret down and fold it up like this. Then we're going to bring out the leg kibble like so. And what I like to do is move the knee so that I can see that slot, because that peg right there behind my finger is going to go into that little cavity on the chest right there. So let's go ahead and get him all lined up. And it can be a little, there we go, it can be a little difficult sometimes, but he should just slot right into the leg. And boom, there you go. There he is in leg mode. Looks pretty good, looks pretty decent. I'm gonna try to get a wide shot. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it. Okay, that's a good shot, but that's not what I'm talking about. So we've got this leg, okay, and I want to bring in my HasLab Desaurus, and I want to show where the leg stands up on Desaurus. I'm going to have to pick up the camera and kind of zoom out of my workstation here. Get that camera stand out of the way. And there he is. There's the leg mode with Desaurus. Now, call me crazy, but doesn't this look like the combiner is going to be roughly about the size of HasLab Desaurus? Which, if it is, I'm totally cool with that, because that's going to be awesome. Taking Legends class characters and making them that tall, that is going to be cool, man. I dig that a lot. Alright guys, that has been Iron Factory Amadusius, or aka Drillhorn. Thanks for watching. I'm really looking forward to this. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Later.